Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming back again. So we'll have the next speaker, Mr. Thierry Schmitter, the patent examiner in the area of marine engineering at the European Patent Office in the Netherlands. Mr. Schmitter holds a Master of Science in Marine Engineering from Delft University of Technology, and he has more than 20 years of experience as a patent examiner at the European Patent Office. And he has been examining patent applications in marine engineering technologies since 2013. Following a mountaineering accident in 1998 that resulted in a spinal cord injury, Mr. Schmitter pursued an international career in competitive sailing, earning multiple medals at the Summer Paralympics in Athens 2004 and London 2012. After retiring from elite competition, he focused on innovation in adaptive kiteboarding, collaborating with leading industry suppliers to develop specialized equipment. So we now welcome Mr. Thierry Schmitter online to join us for his presentation.
Good morning. Do you hear me, all of you? I've got some difficulties to show to turn on my camera, but anyway, can you see the screen, my PowerPoint presentation screen?
Yes, we can see. That's fine.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, my face is not so interesting this morning. My slides much more. So indeed, so thank you for this introduction, Mr. Gopal. So my name is indeed Thierry Schmitter, and I would like to talk to you today about, let's say, the IP, especially patent application, but from the side of the inventor. Because as a sportsman, I'm sure you have been confronted with some problem and so on, and that you were always keen to find a solution that might lead to such a good idea that you would like to file for a patent. So this morning we're going to go through the whole process of inventing in sport equipment until your final protection. So today's topic or let's say more or less this list. When you are a sportsman and you invent and you want to invent something, you have to. We're going to see what kind of a few questions you need to ask yourself before filing a patent, and then we go through the different step of your invention until you have a patent, because it can last for a few years from the first idea to a patent protection. Then of course, during the patent application until you have a worldwide protection, there are a few steps to follow. Then we'll have a look at what is really in a patent application. It's a piece of paper, but what's in it, the different part of it, and what are the important part for the inventors and so on. And especially we go to the part of the claims. This is a part of the patent application that gives you your protection, the scope of protection. And then you have also to ask yourself how to check if my invention is already patented, because you can have a good idea, but at the same time, at the other side of the world, you can have a colleague, sportsman or sportswoman that had exactly the same idea. Then it's quite useless to file a patent if it's already exists. And then a few do's and don'ts before filing a patent. So to start with, we go to the next one. So a few questions you need to ask yourself before filing for a patent. So why filing for a patent? Because it's nice to have a patent on your name. It might be good for your ego to have a piece of paper in a frame on top of your let's say chimney, as you would collect sports prizes. You could collect patent applications on your name, but that's not really the idea. And then because a patent is just is nothing else than the right of exclusivity to be able to produce and to sell your invention, and it's a territory right. That means you may have a patent protection in one country but not in another. So we'll see in the whole process of filing a patent from first application to worldwide protection later, all the different steps you need to do or to follow to have this territorial protection. And also it's good to ask yourself, indeed, if you want to sell yourself the invention, or you want to license the invention to a third party. That means when you file for a patent and you have an invention, or you have an invention and you file for a patent, you want to protect yourself from somebody else copying your invention, or is your goal more to sell your idea to third parties, for example, to a manufacturer or a big company? These are two different strategies why filing for a patent. And also, you also have to ask yourself how many others may be interested and benefit from your invention. Is there a commercial need? This means that if you make an invention and only a few very niche or specific type of users that means that you will not sell a lot of products. It might not be interesting to file for a patent, because for filing for a patent costs let's say money. So you have to think also a little bit how to earn back that money by selling it on the market. And if there is no market, no need or commercial demand, it's quite useless to file for a patent. And also before your invention is worthwhile patent application, the most important is to ask yourself, is my invention really solving a technical problem? And also, is it really new and inventive? Because you might have a technical solution to a problem you have been confronted with, but if the solution you found out turns out to be trivial, it's also quite useless to ask to file for a patent, as it is quite easily or obviously you can find obviously a solution to a problem. Then okay, now I would like to illustrate my the whole life, the birth and the life of a patent through one example. And to this example, the invention of this inflatable wing. Wing foiling is a quite a popular water sport at the moment, very fast growing, commercially very successful worldwide. And it has been invented end of 2018 in Hawaii. As you can see on the picture left, this is the inventor of the inflatable wing or wing foiling. And he's here, for example, these pictures has been taken from the beach from a photographer photographing the inventor testing his invention. And you see, I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but that photo has been published, for example, on Facebook, which is accessible to the public in December 2018. And then we can see on the right side, you see already in 2020, 2021, there have been a few patent applications published. Here, for example, you have in Germany, they have filed a first patent application. Then in the USA here, and also in Europe, they have filed a few patents around the inflatable wing. So you have here clearly the inventor testing on the beach on the water, and then on the right side, a few patent application. So then to explain a little bit the life of a patent from a first application to worldwide protection. Here on the left, you start at time 0. You have so you had your invention, you filed for a patent, and here, as it is a German company that invented this inflatable wing, they did the first filing of a patent, obviously in Germany. You can see this patent application here on the left. And then because it is a really worldwide sport, they want to have a worldwide protection. They went to what we call a PCT filing. This is it's part of the worldwide the WIPO. That's the worldwide international. What is it? WIPO stands for the Worldwide International Patent
Property
yeah.
Office.
Yeah, Intellectual Property Office, WIPO. Thank you. I should have known that, of course. So it's and you see, you have a certain timeline or horizontally which you have to respect. It's quite strict. All the formalities, the formal part of the patent and the path is quite strict. So after 12 months, you need to file to translate your national patent application to an international patent application. And within the WIPO organization, in which also the EPO is part of, we do what we call the search and examination of your patent application. And during search and examination, so we do in the search phase, we do the research of to check if your invention or your application is already exists somewhere else, or if there are some prior art known somewhere else. And then we come to, after 16 months, to an international search report. So you receive a search report with a list of prior art documentation, which are more or less pertinent or covering part of your invention, which has been formulated in your application. And during the second part of the international patent of application, we call that the examination phase. we come back with eventually some comments. You are allowed and able to modify a little bit the claims and the scope of protection of your invention, just to demark yourself from what already exists, what have been already cited in the search report. And by tuning this your scope of protection, at the end, normally you receive after 28 months this preliminary examination and patentability report, which gives you, let's say, a positive opinion on your patent application or a negative opinion. And from that stage on, your international, let's say, patent application goes in what we call the national phases. So you can go either to Asia, let's say China, Korea, or to Europe, or to Europe and to United States, different part of the world, and then it's taken over by the different national patent offices to normally when they've let's say signed this international intellectual property let's say convention, they translate this preliminary examination and patentability report into a national patent protection. So and after, let's say, 30 months, you get let's say a valid patent protection in the different countries you applied for. So what's interesting, what's important to understand here is all these international intellectual property organization like WIPO, like EPO, we're only here to centralize the delivery, let's say the patent procedure. The granting process of the patent is centralized, and this is done to avoid every inventor applicant to file and to follow all different granting procedures in all different countries, which will be quite cumbersome. So the WIPO and EPO are organizations that centralize this patent granting process. And this is really a huge advantages for inventors and applicants for getting easily a worldwide protections. And what's interesting to notice, what I know, and if there is maybe somebody, a colleague here from the WIPO organization, the most important, when you go national phase, you can imagine, for example, you have an international patent application in English, written in English. It needs to go to China, Japan, India, and Korea. Usually, all this international patent application is translated into the national languages to be able to be transformed to a national patent. And this is a huge part of the costs also of international patent application. But I know, for example, that India, they accept an English international patent filing without the need of translating it to Indian language. Okay, so that's a little bit the path of the patent application from the first application to worldwide protection. Now about the content of a patent application itself, there are different parts in a patent application. There's the abstract, which obviously just summarizes a little bit the invention with a small drawing. This is this part. Very often is the first page. It's also indicate the name of the inventor, the filing date, the priority date, Dates are very important in a patent application, and even in a granted patent. It gives you from which date the patent is valid. Then you have the description, that's the in-depth explanation of the inventions. Then the claims gives you really what we call the scope of protection. This is the most important part of the patent of a patent application, and also especially in a granted patent. It's very important. It gives you really clearly what is protected in your invention and what is not. And then the drawings, also like the description, is to explain, illustrate your invention, as you can see here. So now, more specifically, the claim. The claim is very interesting. I remember when I started as an examiner, we all, let's say, engineers as examiner, and I had to read a claim. I didn't understand a clue of what it meant, because very often the first claim is the most important claim. Claim one, as we see that here, is the most important claim of all the claims, and this part of text on the left side is only one sentence. So you can imagine, so to understand at school, you learned how to write proper text, not to make too long sentences. And in the patent world, the sentences are huge. And the only thing that helps a little bit are these numbers into brackets. This is what we call reference signs. And with the help of the drawing, normally you should be a good test. A good claim is a claim that if you read it without looking at the drawing, you are able to draw the invention just by looking at the claim. That's a good test if you want to play a little bit with patent and the claims. You read a claim, you just hide the drawing, and with a pencil you try to draw the object or what's described in the claim. So here I don't want to bother you with literally the writing of the claim, but more or less what's left. All the reference signs as mentioned in the claim are, let's say, features that are, let's say, claimed and protected in the drawing on the right side of this patent. And also a thing I didn't tell yet is that you will see sometimes, I will go back, as I have a little bit more time than 30 minutes, I use the time, Mr. Gopal. You see that in a patent application, like, okay, this is a worldwide patent, but I don't know why. Here on the right side, you have sometimes you have a patent number with a B number at the end, B, and some other patent application or patent numbers have an A number. Like, for example, here the German one is an A, and that's also something very important to recognize. A stands for an application. In the US, they call that patent pending. In Europe, we don't use the term pending, we use application. That means that the patent is not granted yet, it's just in the phase of processing, search and examination. So there might be a difference in scope of protection between an A publication and the B publication. The most important when you check a patent of a competitor is to use the B publication, because this is what gives you the real protection. So that's a small thing to take into consideration when you look for patents. Or, for example, if a competitor tells you, look here, I've got a patent, and he shows you, and this is why you're not allowed to copy. You are infringing my patent. please stop production. And if he shows you a patent paper with an A number, then you can tell him, look, it's not a valid patent here. Show me first a B publication, and then we talk further. So these are just the trick and tips and tricks you need to know in our, let's say, patent world. So I really try to put myself in the skin of the inventor, of the sportsman, to tell you that story. And also a thing, of course, very important is to check if my invention is already patented. For that, we as patent examiner, we have nice search tools, which is developed in-house at the EPO. And since a few years, we're also using not only our internal classification scheme, but also now AI. It goes development in AI tools in searching for prior art is very fast in our house. But for the public, the EPO proposes also a search engine gathering more than 160 million patent documentation. It's called the ESPACEnet. Here you have the link. It's worldwide espacnet.com. And with a nice interface, you can search for patent. You can search on the name of the inventor. You can search, for example, on a patent number, also in a field, and so on. And but instead of trying to explain you myself, we have a small demonstration movie of the EPO. It lasts for 2.5 minutes. Explaining how ESPACEnet is working. And that's the next slide. Normally it should start automatically. So it's 2.5 minute movie, and then I come back to you. Let's see how it works. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so it was a fast presentation on the ESPACEnet, but at least it gives you the possibility how to to find for prior art documentation. And now, yes. So and now also would like to share with you the what you should and what you shouldn't do before filing a patent. What's most important is to make a small market research to assess the need of the invention, and to check if your invention is trivial or not. It's good also yourself to find some alternatives to your invention for solving the same problem, because you can imagine if you have you invent something and it's very easy with a different process to come exactly to the same solution. Your invention might not be very strong, or it is maybe also an idea to try to file for a patent for all the different alternatives that you cover the whole technical problem you're confronted with. And then also try to improve your invention without what I want to say is that when you improve your invention in the timeline before you eventually file a patent, when you improve your invention, you should not share any information publicly, because what's very important, you can only file for a patent for something that does not exist somewhere else. So, and which is also not accessible to the public. So you can imagine that if you are in the process of inventing or improving your invention, you share your ideas, your doubts, your improvement of your invention. You share that with the public, and understand, for example, making a post on the social media. And if you share that publicly, then it's not possible anymore to file for a patent, as it is already known and dispatched to the public. And that's a mistake that quite a few inventors did in the past. It happens from me from time to time as an examiner, for example, that I get a new patent application on my desk, and before checking the whole patent literature, very often I check on internet if there have been a publication, or if there have been eventually even a scientific paper presented in a conference, or a YouTube movie, especially in the field of water sport. Every small inventor, water sporter, is keen to share his last invention on social media. And it happened that I could, let's say, into bracket, kill his patent application just by citing a public post in Facebook or YouTube. That's very, let's say, sad for the inventor, but that's the rule of the game. But and when you go to different manufacturers or partners to improve and to see if they're interested in your invention, and you don't have a patent application, you didn't file for a patent application yet, don't forget to let them sign at least what we call a non-disclosure agreement before sharing. These are the precautions to take before sharing your invention, at least before you have filed for a patent. But as soon as you have filed for a patent, you have a filing date, then your protection starts at the date of your filing date. And now, just to finish, I would like to share with you a small, let's say, it's not a secret because it's public information, but it's somebody that nobody discovered yet. Concerning the example I showed you, this inflatable wing, for example, you see here, for example, the picture taken by a photograph on the beach, this on 13th of December 2018, and on the right side, the first filing, I think is beginning of 2000. 19 or even 1 year later. So in this case, you see there is a valid patent around, but I'm pretty sure that if a party start to a procedure to invalidate this patent, it can be quite successful, because I've found a picture published on Facebook, publicly available, that was, let's say, published before the filing date, the first filing date of this German patent application here on the right side. And this is exactly what I wanted to share with you as an inventor. It's very important to be very precautious with this, not to share even in your enthusiasm your invention before you filed for a patent. And this is an actual example which is very true. And let's wait until somebody else discovered that and try to invalidate this eventually this patent. Okay, so that was my presentation. I don't know if there is questions you have. Wait. I will try to attack this one. I'll come back to back. Do I need to?
Thank you very much, Mr. Schmitter. I just want to ask if there is any question. Anyone wants to ask a question?
I don't hear anything.
I'm bringing the microphone to him.
Thank you. What if someone violates the patent? What happens? Shall I sue, or the body will sue the person? Thank you.
Yeah, that's the game. Yeah, very often what happens is that the patent holder wants you to pay royalties if you are the competitor. Very often he comes to you and he tells you, look, the product you're selling worldwide or in this country is really infringing my patent, because all the features on your product correspond, for example, to all the features in a claim, like I showed you here, for example. So there's one party asking for royalties or license fees on one side, but the party which is asked for to pay license fees, and it can be quite a lot, because they can ask with a retroactive effect. For example, if 1 year long you sold thousands of products, the patent holder can ask you to pay, sometimes it goes into the millions, pay royalties on all the products you sold the previous years. But then it's you, when you're asked to pay royalties on a patent, to check if that patent is really valid or not. And then you can start a second juridical procedure to invalidate that patent. So very often in big companies, there are two types of juridical procedure happening at the same time. One is to get royalties or stop the selling of products. It can goes up to I think you call that in English seizures of products, confiscating products. And on the other side, the other party can start an I think it's called an invalidation or annulation procedure to try to invalidate the patent. So these are two procedures happening very often at the same time. Does that answer your question?
Yes, he's okay. I think we, in the interest of time, let me just, I know we've got one or two more questions, but just in the interest of time, I would ask if these questions could be taken later on. We'll ask Mr. Schmitter to remain online later on. We are going to move to the keynote address. In fact, the presenter was not able to join in earlier. So I want to thank Mr. Schmitter again for his presentation. Thank you very much, Mr. Schmitter.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So now we would like to welcome Ms. Carol Simpson, Officer in Charge, Division for Latin America and the Caribbean, Department for Development Cooperation, Regional and National Development Sector at WIPO. Ms. Simpson was appointed by the Director General of WIPO, Darren Tang, to co-chair the first task force on IP and sports. And she brings to this role her expertise in how IP can be managed and used as a tool in the empowerment of athletes, sport administrators, and other key stakeholders of the sport industry. She's a member of the team that has developed the first joint IP and sport entrepreneurship course with the WIPO Academy and the International Trade Center. She's widely respected as a champion for youth, gender equality, and creative industries, and her dynamic leadership continues to inspire the next generation of Caribbean innovators and creators. Ms. Simpson is a graduate of the Norman Manley Law School and former executive director of the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office before she joined WIPO. So the floor is yours now, Ms. Carol Simpson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gopal. Good morning, everyone. My sincere apologies for missing my timeline. I think this is justification of why I should actually be with you in your beautiful island of Mauritius. And we'll make a case for that for the next time, Mr. Gopal. But certainly, it's a distinguished pleasure to be with you. To all the officials and dignitaries who are present, heads of institutions, representatives of the private sector, members of the press, all the stakeholders who are here, good morning to you. Certainly, it's a pleasure to address you on behalf of the World Intellectual Property Organization and thank the government of the Republic of Mauritius for inviting me to make this address this morning. And really, we're so happy to join you in terms of those of you who are athletes and sports professionals who may be here present as we celebrate World Intellectual Property Day under the theme Intellectual Property and Sports. Of course, this year, WIPO is not only celebrating one day, we're celebrating the whole year. Sports is so important that we could not even select one day. It has to be for the whole year that we would be having this celebration. So I invite you to think of an island with a population of 2.7 million, a small island developing state like Mauritius that has won a total of 83 Olympic medals, 23 gold, 33 silver, 27 bronze, that has performed in World Athletic Championships, winning a total of 122 medals, including 47 gold, 47 silver, and 34 bronze. So my story begins growing up as a student athlete in Jamaica. It was a joyous time for me. Sports Day, or our National Boys and Girls Championship, was a time of showing excellence on the tracks, celebrating victories, hard-earned, and of course, sadness at the moments of defeat. You may be curious as to what accounts for Jamaica's endurance and success in sports. Some speculate it is in the water, the food that athletes like Usain Bolt or Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price grew up eating, or is it in our DNA? Well, Jamaica's success story may be some of those, but particularly in athletics, it's remarkably given our status as a small island developing state that this success can be attributed to several factors, including a strong sporting culture, investment in sports infrastructure, the development of a robust talent identification and training system, having 2 elite academies in our universities, retaining talent in the country so that our athletes no longer go to the north to the USA or to Europe, to universities there, and to perform there at that level. But the talent is retained now in the country. The success of athletes like Usain Bolt, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price has also inspired a new generation of Jamaican athletes, ensuring that the country's sporting success continues. In truth, sports competition is taught from an early age. We're taught to think as winners. As an athlete, I did not make it to the Olympics myself, but I certainly would like to think that I paved the way for the many others who are making their mark globally. And I continue to have this passion for sport that was embedded in me from an early age. So when I was invited to speak on intellectual property and sports for Mauritius, I paused and wondered what I could say to Mauritian athletes, sports professionals, policymakers, businesses, other stakeholders present. So please allow me to use my own country as a reference. Both Jamaica and Mauritius are small island developing states. Both of us understand what it means to punch above our weight. And our athletes reflect the same resilience, discipline, and excellence under pressure. Although we are oceans that separate us, we're connected by a shared story of talent, ambition, untapped potential. So today, I bring you that story into focus through innovation, sport, and intellectual property. Each year, WIPO anchors its global intellectual property celebration around a core theme. And this year, as I mentioned, IP and sports will be our celebrated theme throughout the year. For those officials coming from Mauritius, you will participate soon in the General Assemblies, and this theme will carry through the General Assemblies. So when most people think about sports, they think foremost about passion, pride, and unity. And of course, that's important. It's perhaps the most important. But also, there's a major global industry. And in small island developing states like Mauritius, it remains an unutilized revenue to reap these benefits. So let me take a moment to quickly unpack the industry's potential. One, the macro industry. The global sports industry is currently valued at approximately $495 billion in 2025 and is on an absolute trajectory to reach $654 billion by 2030. Broadcasting inflows, driven by unprecedented global viewership for streaming platforms and massive tournaments like the FIFA World Cup coming up to start soon. Broadcasting rights alone surpassed $67 billion globally in 2026. And in mature markets like the United States, Europe, spending on sports media rights has skyrocketed by an astonishing 122% over the past decade alone. And then thirdly, technological revolution. If the general sports market is growing steadily, the sports technology subsector is absolutely exploding, valued at $21.5 billion in 2025. The global sports technology market is projected to reach an immense $135 billion by 2035, advancing at a compound annual growth of over 20%. This tells us that the sector is one of the fastest growing globally. And this is why intellectual property is critical. IP drives and sustains it. Without IP, there would be no protected broadcast, no secured sponsorship deals, no global sports brands, and no revenue streams for athletes, who are the most important in this whole sports arena. Intellectual property, therefore, is a foundation of the modern sports economy. So sports is no longer only about physical performance. It is now a technology-driven ecosystem. We see this in wearable performance devices, artificial intelligence-driven analytics, smart officiating tools, and digital fan platforms. Innovation in sport is accelerating, and importantly, it is becoming accessible to smaller countries, entrepreneurs, young people, young athletes. And this is where I feel that Mauritius has a real opportunity. Intellectual property plays three central roles. First, it protects innovation so that creators and businesses can invest with confidence. We just heard the presentation on patent innovation. Secondly, it creates commercial value by turning ideas into revenue through licensing, merchandising, and media rights. Third, it ensures that value generated by athletes and events is retained within the country. Without intellectual property, the value would leak. With intellectual property, the value grows. WIPO recently published its comprehensive Technology Spark report on sports innovation. The findings revealed that the sports sector is not just keeping pace with global innovation, it's completely outpacing it. For instance, over the past decade, between 2016 and 2025, innovators in sports filed more than 65,000 sports-related inventions as published patents. Brands as trademarks registered over 1.25 million sports-related trademarks worldwide. And I'm sure you'll have a presentation later on trademarks and the Madrid system. Designers secured protection for more than 70,000 industrial designs, tracking athletic equipment and apparel. So sports is proving to be an exceptionally accessible entry point for innovation and for building grassroots IP awareness in developing countries. Small island developing states have always proven that physical size does not limit global impact. I use my home country, Jamaica, as an example. Slide. Our success is not only in athletics. Bunny Shaw, as a young Jamaican footballer, a forward striker in the Women's Super League for Manchester City, she has won the 2024-2025 Golden Boot Award. For Man City fans, or if there are any Man City fans who are here present, you can check her out. Then we have the Jamaican Sunshine Girls. Jamaica's netball team, the Sunshine Girls, is ranked number 3 in the world behind Australia and New Zealand. So that Jamaica systematically transformed its raw sports dominance into a highly lucrative, globally recognized national industry. Jamaica's athletic success stories are a result of building a highly visible national brand. The world recognizes the black, green, and gold of Jamaica's flag. Or sometimes we use red, green, and gold for the Rastafarian people of Jamaica. The iconic athletic postures which you see, Usain Bolt, Lightning Bolt to the world, and the elite performances academies, because these are assets that are backed by structured commercial endorsements and trademark protection. Island innovation is defined by a fierce refusal to be constrained by geography. It is the refusal to let climate dictate a nation's destiny. If you can show the slides now, please. The legendary Jamaica bobsled team is an example. Some of you may know of our bobsled team entering a tropical country, one of the first to enter Winter Olympics. In 1988, the bobsled team made their debut at the Calgary Winter Games. Critics dismissed them as a novelty. They were viewed as a marketing gimmick. Coming out of a tropical country, how could we be entering winter sport? Yet they defied the odds, established a permanent athletic federation, and proved their longevity by qualifying for the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina. They may not have performed well, they may not have medaled, but guess what? They turned up. Our colors was there. We were represented. They proved to the world that a tropical nation could master ice and snow. But more importantly, they mastered the power of narrative branding. The single story became an enduring global brand, and it inspired a classic movie, Cool Runnings, that introduced their struggle to millions. It generated decades of international broadcast royalties. It spawned massive merchandise lines worldwide. Ultimately, it created a permanent funding stream to sustain their athletic federation for generations. They continue to promote and sell Brand Jamaica to the world. This is the ultimate success case for small island nations. It proves that a unique sports narrative, when fiercely protected by copyright, trademarks, media distribution rights, becomes an immortal economic asset capable of funding a country's future. I put it to you that Mauritius possesses the same untapped potential. Mauritius has achieved notable sporting success on regional and international stages, particularly in combat sports, boxing, and Muay Thai. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I hope I did. Athletics, parasports, and cycling, producing champions at the Commonwealth Games, African Games, and the Paralympics. Your own rich Olympic journey took flight at the Los Angeles Games in 1984, and your national history was rewritten at the 2008 Beijing Olympics when boxer Bruno Julie fought his way to an unforgettable bronze medal. In that moment, Bruno Julie shattered the glass ceiling, proving to every young person across Mauritius that an islander could stand tall on the global podium. Mauritius does not need to copy another nation's blueprint. You have your own multi-sport dynamism. From your absolute dominance at the Indian Ocean Island Games to producing legendary world-class sprinters like Stefan Buckland, the critical question we must answer today is this: how do we wrap an intellectual property shield around the next generation of Mauritians? Bruno Julius, Naomi Alfonso, Anais Angeline, and Stefan Buckland, to ensure their global exploits build generation wealth right there at home. So to transform our local athletic heroes into global economic icons, we must understand and commercialize the legal concept, for example, of image rights, or what is known as name, image, and likeness rights. Not many countries now have in place the standalone legislation for protecting image rights of our athletes. Perhaps the most well-known is the Guernsey Act Ordinance of 2012, which allows individuals or groups to register their personality as a proprietary asset legally, their likeness, their voice, their mannerism, and signatures. In my own personal experience in working with Jamaican athletes, as then head of the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, I worked with Usain Bolt, coming right after the Beijing Olympics of 2008. His lightning pose, which was already made famous, was not able to be registered necessarily, to be registered under trademark law. And with his legal team, we worked and were able to deal with the many cases of potential infringements that came as there were attempts to register Bolt the World, Bolt Energy Drink, Lightning Bolt, and the story goes on. Therefore, vigilance is key. This is also the case for well-known entertainers such as Bob Marley. And Bob Marley's brand has been strongly protected globally and is really enforced by the Bob Marley Foundation. So for some young athletes that we have worked with who really had no interest in intellectual property, no, they were pretty much about performance on the field. So we targeted the parents. We spoke to parents because many, they do not have legal representation. They were not like a Usain Bolt who had a legal team to back him. But certainly there were parents who were committed to seeing their young children succeed. And this is how we started this thinking of how to begin protecting your brand even from a young age. And so successful retired athletes like Usain proudly carry the Jamaican brand. Next slide. And are now investors, helping to transform the economy of our island and the Caribbean as a whole. As athletes increasingly reach global real-time audiences via social media and other digital platforms, the ability to monetize their identities through trademarks, licensing agreements, and ironclad endorsement contract becomes highly consequential. Without a solid understanding, therefore, of intellectual property, a young athlete signing their first international contract can easily sign away their life's likeness for a fraction of its worth. So for our sports organization, clubs, national federations, some of you may be represented here, IP performs an equally existential function. Broadcasting rights, which represent the single largest inflow of cash in modern sports, exist only because copyright and related rights grant rights holders the exclusive legal authority to control how their live content is distributed. If anyone could stream a Mauritian football match or a surf competition for free without permission, there would be no media contracts, no broadcasting deals, no corporate revenues to build stadiums or fund youth academies. Sponsorship and merchandising rest on the exact same legal foundation. Trademarks and design rights protect the distinctiveness of your national teams and their event logos. A corporate sponsor does not give money out for charity. They pay for the exclusive right to associate the protected brand with your protected sports trademark. Fortunately, Mauritius has recognized this reality and has established a legal fortress to protect its sports and creative ecosystems. This must be maintained. Most importantly, Mauritius' accession to the Madrid Protocol means that any Mauritian sports entrepreneur, athletic apparel designer, fitness tech startup, or any sport or any business that has an interest in the area of sports can protect their trademark across over 130 countries simultaneously through a single application, a single language, and paying a single fee. A robust legal framework is a vital first step, but laws on a page do not create economic growth. Opportunities must be seized deliberately, aggressively, and strategically. Every time Mauritius hosts a premier international golf open, a world-class kite surfing championship, a regional marathon, the country is generating massive commercial value. Going back to the Caribbean, in 2025, on the request of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and Trinidad and Tobago, two of our islands, small island states, we have conducted diagnostic studies on the sports ecosystem in these two islands. These studies are detailed audits of exactly how intellectual property is utilized within the island's sports ecosystem, identifying where the vulnerabilities lie, where the revenues are being lost. The empirical findings from these island diagnostics are now informing concrete, country-specific policy and strategic recommendations. Mauritius may want to think about a similar approach. Furthermore, to turn athletes into self-sustaining business entities, WIPO partnered with the International Trade Center and has launched in April our specialized sports entrepreneurship online course. I've taken the course myself in the pilot. And this curriculum is designed to equip active and retiring athletes, club administrators, with practical business skills, financial literacy, intellectual property knowledge they need to build commercial enterprises. I invite you to check out our webpage on the Academy's webpage and register for the course. It's open to December, free of cost, and it's a certification course as well. The conclusion of an athlete's active career should not signal the end of their economic contribution to their family and their nation. In fact, it should be the start. The personal brand, the technical skills, and the global relationship they build on the field can be sustained, grown, and monetized for decades with the right intellectual property foundation of the field. And I use an example, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. If you can show another slide, thank you. Who is retired, Jamaica's world's fastest woman, establishing her own foundation, Pocket Rocket Foundation. She's mentoring and nurturing young athletes, giving back to the communities which supported her success, from the educational aspect to focus on their own craft. She is now Jamaica's ambassador for Grace Kennedy, our International Food Company, and this year, she was awarded the Laureate Sportswoman of the Year award. She continues even after the track to be gaining awards. And she's a fantastic role model for not only Jamaican and Caribbean athletes, but I think young athletes globally. So she joins a global network of elite athletes using their platform to drive social change and support youth programs. As we look toward the future, WIPO is aggressively expanding its specialized work streams in sports. We are placing a heavy strategic focus on emerging frontier sectors, including esports, virtual training environments, and digital sports content creation, where the next generation of youth, as Mauritian youths, may already be pioneering entirely new career paths. As I close, I want to remind us that the sports industry is one of the most dynamic, resilient, and economically significant sectors, a unifying force for people across the globe. And at the center, pouring performance, innovation, securing billions in broadcast revenue, driving the merchandise sales, and more importantly, it is anchoring our athletes' careers. It is intellectual property. So I want to say to you that WIPO stands firmly by your side as your dedicated long-term partner on this journey. And in Jamaica, we have a local saying, we little but we talawa. We're small, but we're powerful. We may be small island states, but we possess immense, unstoppable strength, talent, and global impact. I want to wish for you a successful rest of the day in this event, and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Simpson.
Thank you.
Very inspiring presentation. And from the level of the council here, we'll definitely share the link from the WIPO Academy concerning the course you have mentioned to all participants here. So as I understand, it's open until December for registration and it's free. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think we will close this morning session now. In the interest of time, I think we will move on to the next part. So we have a lunch break program for you. It's going to be in the room next door. So I would advise you if you could please move on to the lunch and then we rejoin here, let's say in about 45 minutes to continue with the other sessions, because we've got one presenter from the Ministry of Sports, Mr. Janu, who is here to present, but we've got a few other presenters online who'll be joining us as well. So thank you very much.